Welcome back to this week's episode of Into the Black. Tonight, we're missing one player. Sadly, we are without everyone's favorite angry, greedy rat. But he will be back next time. Tonight, the players we do have, our crew from the Red Rock, are in the top left, Club Nisus, played by the wonderful Brandon. In the top right, we have the fantastic Percy, played by the also wonderful Alex. And on the bottom, all by her lonesome, played by Lily is Maynala.
Could be Maynala, that's fine too.
Lily is also wonderful, but, you know, everyone's wonderful.
That's true.
When last we left our heroes, they had helped with rescuing the Bika, getting them through these sort of dangerous subterranean nature reserves, artificial environments filled with these large, dangerous saurian creatures, managed to get everyone out and safely, and now they are sort of back in the city, looking into who might be there, how did Blue Ion get there, who can they pin this to, and maybe get some help from the stewards. But as they were tracking down some leads, Maynala was kidnapped, picked up off the street, along with 3 of the kobolds, Ichni and San.
Wait, they got kidnapped too? Nobody told me that.
They were with you.
I mean, I guess it works better because I don't actually know what happened after I was kidnapped, so.
And
immediately ratted out your kobold friends.
And who knows what's going to happen to them all now. So, Maynala, what were you shopping for when you got picked up?
I was shopping?
Yeah, of course you were shopping. You were in a city. You're probably out shopping. You were trying to gather a little information.
Oh, okay. What was I shopping for? Honestly, I'm really big into accessories. So I had like a fad where I was into like chunky everything, like really chunky earrings and chunky like statement necklaces, but I've moved past that. I'm more into like the thin kind of delicate area look, but I'm also
kind of minimalist.
Yes, but now I'm also very into it's like, it's not dye, but you can put it on and it's like ombre color toning for your skin. It's really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So you're looking at that. You're kind of going around talking to people, asking people what they've heard, and shopping is like a way to like make sure you don't stand out. You look like just some person passing through.
Right.
And you brought the kobolds with you because they're helpful,
and they also
don't get out a
many
lot.
Clothes, and I was thinking of getting some things for them too.
Yeah, and they don't leave the ship very much.
Yeah, they need to get out more.
They as you found out, they don't really like being outside. They're a little agoraphobic. But they're getting used to it.
Okay, that's good. I mean, if I can bribe them with some foods I've figured out they like, that would be great.
That totally works.
Yeah.
They're very susceptible to bribes. So, unfortunately, that is not where you are right now, because as you were leaving one of the stores, you were beset upon by a group of sort of armed, they didn't look like mercenaries, but they looked like they're sort of hired muscle, who were able to very quickly subdue you because you were alone with your kobolds, and you were put in a hover van and you were whisked away, and you're not sure where you are now.
Okay. How long have we been traveling?
You don't know, because it's the last thing you remember is you kind of come to consciousness, you sort of blacked out, was sort of someone spraying a cloud of like some kind of stun toxin into all of your faces. That you have not seen before. That's new.
Okay, yeah, it sounds fancy.
Like you can be injected with stuff that makes you knock out, but a gas that just takes you out.
Yeah.
That is
classy kidnappers.
Very savvy. Okay.
You kind of wake up and you sort of look around, and you're looking eye to eye with sort of this burly-looking furred humanoid, which you recognize as sort of the native humanoid that lives on Triaxis. He's got sort of clear evidence of sort of subdermal implants, probably strength-enhancing stuff.
Do I know what species he is?
I forget the name, but it's the
Okay,
native humanoid on Triaxis.
cool. Okay, awesome. Oh, do you want me to find out? I've realized I'm
If you
in the
want,
library now.
feel free.
Okay,
He's just sort of
curious.
staring at you. He's maybe about 6 feet away from you. You're tied to a chair. And you're in some sort of empty warehouse-looking building.
Am I alone or are the kobolds here?
The kobolds are not. You don't see them around.
Okay.
But if you're looking for them, give me a perception check.
Okay. I can do that. Slash things. Slash. And then add 11 to that. So 20.
20. Excellent. You look around. It's dim light, but your eyes adjust. And you see you're in this large warehouse. There's no one else around. You see some crates off in the back corner that look like that are kind of half open. That look like they might be containing like ship parts.
They appear to just be called Triaxons.
Sorry, Triaxons.
I
thought there was a fun name.
Like.
Though there's the Summerborn Triaxon and the Winterborn Triaxons.
This guy is a winterborn Triaxon. So he's got the white fur instead of the orange.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I need to.
And he's not talking.
I'm sure
He's just staring at you.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty good looking. That's okay. I'm trying to come up with a name for the thing I based the skin one on is a hair thing. It's called overtone. You don't have to bleach your hair first, and you just put it on. I'm trying to come up with a name for that and just be like, were you interested in some blah? Like
Dermal overtone?
dermal overtone, yes, sure. That works.
What color are yours right now? Are they...
Probably like blue or something, you know?
They look really cool.
Because my hair is purple right now, so I feel like that goes well. So
He kind of smirks, like he gives you this sort of weird smile, and he says, "No, I'm all right."
okay.
And then his little hand terminal beeps. He picks it up, and he sort of lazily talks into it. He's doing the thing where he's sitting in the chair backwards, like a cool guy.
Riker.
And he says, "Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, she's up. Sounds good, boss." Puts it away.
Ooh, boss.
Just keeps looking at you.
Alright, so there's you and there's someone else. That's nice. Keep it cozy. Is it just the two of you?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Well, yeah, I would. I mean,
This is accurate.
I'm trying to.
He puts his hand up and he says, "I'll stop you right there. I know you're a diplomat. I know you're real good at talking things out of people, but I will tell you, I am not nearly smart enough for that to work.
Well, I think
I was given instructions. I'm following them."
I don't want to mess with any of your instructions. I want you to do a good job and get a good report and get a bonus this year.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
One of them was to start hitting you if you keep talking. Just feel like you should know. I don't want that to be a surprise. You don't have to think of what to say to that because the door at the end of the warehouse opens, and light comes in, like bright,
Yeah.
brighter daylight.
Yeah.
Not bright, but you're in the it's a
Dim.
sort of
Yeah.
moderate light, but it looks like outside. And then the door shunk, closes.
Does it look like we're on the same planet?
Give me another perception check.
Sure.
And while you're doing that, this large form sort of lumbers closer. And as it gets closer, it's easier to make out what it is. You thought it was like a large person moving in from a door close to you. It's not. It's a really big humanoid form from a door farther away. And then it gets closer and you see it's another one of those dragons. This one is blue.
Another one of the dragons, like chickens type of dragon?
Like Kinks and the green one,
Oh, okay.
the Dragonkin mercenaries. This is another one. Except this one's wearing no like battle armor. It's not like kitted out to fight. It's sort of dressed like in like a weird approximation of a suit for a dragon.
Okay. Yeah.
Very nice, very fine, well clothed.
Formal
And it also
dress
is sort of more slight than the other ones you've seen.
But big.
You know. Yeah, because they're like 9 feet tall. you know.
Wow, he's tall. I don't say
You know,
anything.
as you
And
do
what
when you're
color?
a dragony type.
Blue.
Blue. Okay, yeah.
Does this pocket
Um,
square match? Is it also blue?
oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh my God, this is Retrovax. I don't say that out loud. I'm just saying.
It is not Regirex. You know what Regirex looks like.
True, I saw the
Um,
mosaic. I should know exactly what he looks like.
he sort of comes up to you. She comes up to you, and she sort of nods, and extends her hand. And your hands are sort of attached to the sides of this chair with these like magnetic handcuffs. And your right one disengages as she extends her hand to you to shake your hand.
I shake her hand.
Grexeros.
Rexeros. Okay.
Grexeros with a G.
Rexeros. Okay.
She shakes your hand. And then as she lets go, sort of like in Thor Ragnarok, your thing thunk right back where it was.
Sure. Yeah.
And she says, "You were Nala Ufudrakis, correct?" Good. Would be a shame if we picked up the wrong person.
I agree.
Let me just say, are you going to make this easy and tell me where the rest of your friends might be, or where your ship is parked?
I could do that. Why? What business do we have with you?
Are you not sure who we are?
No, no. I was trying to chat with this lovely person here, but I didn't want to mess with their directions, so
She
told me
reaches
not to.
over and like kind of ruffles his hair,
Oh my God, that's so sad.
like in like a kind of like a weirdly like playful like familiar gesture, and he kind of bats her hand away, but like with a smirk, like haha, stop embarrassing me in front of the prisoner. And she says, "Oh, Davrin is good at following instructions, at least when they're about hitting people." No, I am a representative for the Blue Ion Corporation. And I'm trying to assemble you and your associates for a meeting back on Triaxis. And with that, we're going to cut away to Clob, Percy, and Pip.
Okay. Shit.
Clob, Percy, Pip, you guys got the news from Gesh, I think, was the kobold, one of the four. They're interchangeable, doesn't matter. Saying that Maynala had been kidnapped and that they had just hid while this was happening. And Pip, when this happened, sort of ran off with his drone to go back to the ship in an attempt to make sure they can't track it down.
Right.
Using any sort of backdoors. He wants to make sure that gets hidden and the rest of the crew gets hidden while you guys go out. He said, hopefully you guys can go out and get some leads on where Maynala might be.
Okay, we're in the city right now, right?
Yes, you're on that sort of the strip. Yeah.
Okay.
You're in a city. You have not left that city.
Is there a name for the city or just a city?
It's like a giant single metropolitan area that goes around the whole planet.
That's a strange name for a city.
So, you're in like
It's one of those Welsh
district-
names.
You're in like Sigma District, I think. Let's call it that. You're in Sigma District.
Are we anywhere near the Kashak part of the Ring of the Nations? They're part of the Supremacy Collective. They have all the the augmented faction.
I'm sure it's a very good reference.
I actually want to talk to those guys if possible.
Who is this?
It's the augmented faction. Bree. She must have talked to the augmented faction. I assume. I haven't really asked. I feel like that's too personal.
It's kind of a
Sure.
personal question.
You don't just
Let me
it's not
grab
dinner
that
talk.
bush.
Could I
fast.
join the
Yeah.
augmented fashion with my eyes?
Your eyes aren't augmented. You have a visor. Oh wait,
I
no,
thought
you
that
don't.
got time
Because
augmented.
so yeah, you guys. Pip runs off to go hide the ship. Where do you guys want to go?
Well, we should investigate. Where did my Nala get taken from?
The store, this sort of like beauty store, a few blocks away from you, maybe half a mile away.
Okay, we should go there and canvas probably witnesses.
Sounds good.
Maybe see if there's security cameras or something on the streets.
Wait.
Sure.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot we knew that she was kidnapped.
Yeah, we're aware.
What's the place you were looking for, Brandon?
Well, no, it's not as important as finding Manel. I was just looking for like a chop shop to get augmentations or talk to them about other stuff.
What was the place called?
Well, the faction is called Kashak. It's a member of the Ring of Nations. I don't know all the details. I'm just looking at the wiki.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well,
like it's like they're kind of shady because they have all these fancy research institutions, but there's also like techno terrorists and extremists and shit, and a bunch of hackers.
We'll make it up.
Hackers.
Yeah,
I'll make something up.
that's fine with me.
Cool. Excellent. So you want to go to that beauty store? You go. It's You find this place. It's sort of like a multi-level place. It's very high-end. Clearly the kind of place Manala would want to go check out.
Yeah, this checks out.
It's called the Silver Needle.
It's called Silver
And, Silver Needle is this store you went to. This
sense.
beauty place.
Sounds great.
And you see there's actually a couple like law enforcement people here. Like they look like some kind of police or law enforcement talking to witnesses.
Hey, Club, we're not wanted on this planet, right?
I mean, we're sort of wanted everywhere, but I don't think like there's any particular one of us on this planet.
I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, we should probably be fine, right? I mean,
part your hair in the other direction.
Yeah, exactly. I'm unrecognizable.
Yep.
Totally different cow.
My name is Bulk.
I think that if you look at me from this angle, I'm like almost a little bit blue, you know? It shines off me different.
It's true. Are you sure you're not just going gray?
I don't know. I can't actually see back there. I assume.
So yeah, there's a human and a She-Ren officer, and they're taking statements from people.
Oh, go up to them. Are they together or like separately talking to people?
They're kind of separately talking to people.
Okay, then I'll go up to the human.
Okay, excellent. He's sort of, medium build, sort of darker complexion, and he's got the little recorder, and he's talking to somebody, asking them questions. Who did you know this person? What did you see? What kind of vehicle was it?
I'll wait for this interview to conclude.
It concludes, sends them on their way. He turns around to you and sort of sees that you're waiting and says, "Can I help you?"
You investigating a disappearance that happened here?
We are, maybe 40 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. The person in question, the subject of the napping, was our friend.
Oh.
Very interested in recovering her.
Well, we are too. Do you have a moment to give us a statement?
Sure. Would you mind giving us your statement as well? Because we'd also like to conduct our own investigation.
We try to discourage that.
What if I encouraged you? Slide him a cred stick.
Girl!
You're actually going to slide him some money?
With part of
How much money do you slide him?
I don't know. What's reasonable? I don't know how money works in this.
How much money do you have?
That's what I was going to ask.
I feel like we've got a decent amount.
Money, and I'm like, I don't know
I feel like a $50 cred stick is a good month's work most places.
Like
maybe police is a little bit more.
Percy, do you know how many credits you have to your name?
I've got at least a few hundred.
Okay. How much are you going to give him?
50 sounds fine, I guess. Club says 50. 50.
Do a culture check. Give me a culture check.
Okay.
To know what a reasonable bribe is.
18.
18? You think 50 to 100 for something like give me a couple of leads? Pretty reasonable.
Okay. We'll do like 75 then.
Cool. You sort of pass him like, here's my statement. Give me what check would make sense for this? Like
It's persuasion, but that's not a thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What do you think?
Could I make this a trick attack?
Let's just say, since you upped it, since you did 75, he just kind of takes it and pockets it, and he says, um, sort of larger built Lashunta female kidnapped by look, we were thinking four uh, perpetrators. They black speeder headed
catch a
east.
plate on that?
Sadly, no. They got some kind of tech on the van that makes it so it doesn't show up on cams. Just kind of a distortion.
We got descriptions of the perps.
There's some.
We should steal that idea of cover.
And then he kind of stops talking and sort of looks at you, kind of expectantly after saying, did you get descriptions? He's like, yeah, we got descriptions, and then he doesn't tell you what they are.
I'll just stare at him. Got my pen out. Just like, Julie,
anything else I can do for you?
No, I was just waiting for you to gather your thoughts. You were saying?
He sort of like deflates a little bit, and he's like, really? Am I the first person you've ever bribed?
I'm sorry, what did you just accuse me of doing? I mean, and certainly you wouldn't want to put that word on whatever just in. I thought we were freely sharing information, wanting to help each other. Justice and the law.
He just kind of rolls his eyes and he says, "It's nice doing business with you." And he kind of turns to go if you don't want to do anything.
And I'll see. I'll wait for Klopp to see what he's done.
Cool.
I feel like I could try to step in and accuse him of something, but he's just gonna say no and then arrest us. Maybe we should just give him 100 more. It feels like the easiest solution.
All right.
It can be my 100.
Yeah, go ahead. You try. I think he's mad at me.
All right.
And do you want to go up to him or the she-ren?
I think him. I don't know if I want to involve another guy. Mr. Very honest officer. I think that my friend dropped something that he wanted you to have. Give him 100.
He takes it. The smile is back, and he puts it in his pocket. And as he's putting it in his pocket, he pulls out this data chip, sort of like in this sort of fluid motion. Clearly, this is not his first time doing this. And he pulls out this little data chip, and he says, "I'm
gonna fucking report this guy so hard."
And he says, "Oh no, that's not mine. Here." And he hands the chip to you. "But thank you, though."
Dude,
did I get a badge number? This corrupt police force thing is like everything the Percy's against. I want a badge number. I'm gonna report this fucker.
You can get the badge number. And he hands you the data chip. And then he turns and goes. They seem to have collected all the statements they're going to collect, and they leave.
Ah, damn it.
No, you have the data chip.
Well,
you're good.
Yeah, let's run the data chip. Is this something I could just like plug into my tablet?
Yeah, totally. It's like a USB thing.
I was hoping. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he'll have enough on it. Let's see.
Why did you want to ask him a question before he went?
I was gonna just. Well, I mean, too late. Yeah, it's okay. We can try to find other witnesses ourselves.
You do the thing. The credit chip has security cam footage. It has the security cam footage from the front of this place. It also has like some statements. Like he's kind of just given you a copy of the case file he had so far, because you gave him $100. You gave him like almost $200.
Very good.
Nice.
And he's like, "Sure, some random like tiny job here." As you look, if you watch the security cam, you see Maynala come out with the kobolds, and then kind of this fuzzy shape pull up, like a distortion, like kind of like a slight shimmer in the footage. And then from out of the shimmer, some sort of goons, some very like plainly dressed goons, who all kind of look the same, come out, grab her and all the kobolds, throw them in this invisible vehicle, and then it leaves.
So the kobolds
got
away or didn't get away?
One kobold got away.
OMG! Okay.
You also see there's lots of thrashing. It looks like one of the thugs gets punched in the face and knocked to the pavement by Maynala before they all get back in the vehicle.
Go me!
But then all the witnesses are describing the vehicle as being a black speeder. So it's not invisible. It just seems to edit itself out of the footage.
So weird. But so
It is weird.
And I want to steal that tech so bad.
It's visual from Rainbow Six.
I bet that Pip wants it too.
Mm-hmm. It's exactly Vigil for Rainbow Six, but a car.
I've never heard it. I like it.
That crunching is so loud.
Just Brandon's crunching. I was quiet crunching.
Sorry.
No, the bag is like...
Y'all both crunching.
I will eat it later.
I'm sorry. Game canceled. Brandon has to eat some chips.
I mean, chips are really good, so.
They're delicious. Those are Cool Ranch.
I get cranky.
I've got some cheddar Pringles I can go get to fit in.
So yeah, what? Anything else you'd like to try to glean from this data? You have a fair amount of it.
You said they're all they are like plain clothes and similar looking. What race are they?
Give me a computer's check to try to zoom and enhance.
Enhance. 30.
Never mind.
30. You're able to kind of. It's.
This is what I do.
Use sort of
I sit at my computer and I enhance all day.
The computer's sort of compiling all the information from like sort of glances of these guys' faces to reconstruct them.
Mm-hmm.
And it sort of gives you kind of a patchy image, human, but you're looking at them, and these guys are either 4 identical twins or like the same guy. Like it looks very much like the same guy 4 times.
They're all physically interacting with Maynala, right? This isn't like a duplicate thing.
No, they're like 2 of them grab Maynala, 1 of them gets punched, and then that one gets up and helps grab the kobolds. Like they do stuff.
Fighting the Koenigs. Interesting. Is there like a galactic like facial recognition program?
Not a legal one, but I don't think that concerns you.
Back when we were friends with Dives, we probably could have gotten into one.
Backdoor into?
Give me a computer's check.
Not great. Clob, you want to give it a shot?
Yeah, I can help out. 1 sec.
15. So...
I roll a fucking 3.
Let's see if I can help that out.
3 hurts.
That's 17. Not much better.
You rolled
It's a 17. You're thinking you don't have access to one, but you know someone who might.
Yellow 47?
Yellow 47.
He lives right here.
He lives in the city, and he's a data broker.
Cool.
Of the people you know, he might have access to a facial recognition software.
Cool. And even if not, maybe we can get him the footage. He might be able to like decode something on the vehicle or something. Cool.
Did you guys want to investigate the crime scene?
We also have we have a kobold on the loose, don't we?
Oh, he's in a trash can.
Do we find him?
Yeah. If you look for him,
it's very easy.
He's just in a trash can.
We just see little eyes, and we look at it, and the lid drops.
Yeah. No, they're in there. It's let's say it's sect, and you pull them out, and they're like, I was so scared, I didn't know what to do.
Well, did you at least look around? Where's Maynala?
They're so cute. I feel so bad.
They got kidnapped. I was in the trash can. I think they just forgot about me in the tussle.
Well, that's lucky.
Right?
Yeah, no, you're fine. It'll be fine. We'll get your siblings back. Just go hang out on the ship.
Okay. I don't know how to get to it.
Okay, you can hang out with us.
Okay. Just like, as you're walking along with this kobold in a little jumpsuit who is like visibly shaking.
He's still holding the trash can lid over his head?
Yeah, probably. Clutching it. It seems they don't do well outside.
Oh.
You hadn't.
He's aged like 20 years.
Yeah. You haven't been around them when they've gone outside before. They're usually just on the ship, but he's kind of freaked out. He's clearly like scared of things.
I've known
Would it
like
make
this
you feel better?
shitborn.
Oh, what'd you say?
Sorry, I've known guys shitborn that are like this. They don't like the sky. Bunch of weirdos. But you know, get used to them.
I was gonna ask the kobold if it would make him feel better to sit on Clob's shoulders.
Maybe. Climbs up, and Clob, now you have this kobold just kind of clutching onto you. This seems to soothe them a little bit because they can like just look down, and they're okay.
Just hand him the little paper bag.
Poor dude. Aren't you gonna take him back to the ship where he's happy?
So, are you guys? Did you guys want to investigate the crime scene or go straight to Yellow 47? Where did you want to go?
I think if we have a description of the people, that's our best lead. But we can, I don't know. What isn't the entire crime scene report on the chip?
It is, but you read it, it's quite sparse. It seems like these guys are just kind of phoning it in.
They're doing it with
We could do like a quick sweep and see if there's something obvious they missed.
I'll take a perception check.
Oh, I'm good at those. 25.
25. You sort of
those.
You're at the crime scene and you kind of just take one last look around. And as you kind of look around, you see there's sort of something kind of beige, like sort of brownish, scraped off on the curb. Just a little bit. It's like just a little patch of it.
Does it look like Ombre 47? My knowledge. Brand?
No, you go down to it and you sort of take some of it. It feels kind of like rubbery. It's kind of like flesh-colored and latex, almost.
Oh my god, we're fighting LMDs. Cool. I'll take a little sample of it.
Yeah.
Just have. Great. Rubber people.
Seems good.
Rubber people like in Doctor Who.
Please no.
Their little hands.
Oh, it's me, Mickey.
It's got a gun in it.
Shit.
So you guys head back to the ship right now?
No, I was gonna head to Yellow 47, I think.
You start going that way. You take your little bus tram thing, and you arrive at Yellow 47, sort of his little data broker place again. And as you come in, there's the dude who works in the front, but then he comes out and he's just like, "No, they're cool. We know them."
Okay, we're good. Give him the signal.
Good.
He says, "Welcome back."
Everybody wants.
You're muted.
Everybody wants to go where someone knows your name, so nice.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows. I walk in there like Norm. Yeah. Hey, we've got some. There's some identity issues that we were hoping you could resolve for us.
What kind? New one? Old one?
Multiple ones?
Multiple ones.
But also singular ones? You'll see. Let's
Come on
go
back.
in the back and talk about it.
Takes you and Clob and the kobold in the back.
The kobold's cool, don't worry. He's not wearing a wire. We're good.
Don't worry, if any of you were wearing a wire, I've got a field that would have fried it.
Great.
Yeah, is he all like super technical?
No one has a pacemaker, right?
I mean, my
You don't now.
No cardiac implants, because if you did, you don't now.
I think we should be fine. Clob, are you okay with your cybernetics?
Yeah, I mean,
If your left eye stopped working?
It's just the computer, like, you know, it can't be permanently disabled by an EMP, at least.
There's just a long string of zeros.
Club, your left eye is lazy. It's going lazy with this weird jamming field.
Yeah. Usually it tells me where batteries are, but it just says this place is a battery.
Not entirely wrong. So
I'll give him all the information.
He takes it, looks at it, and he sort of pulls up the four guys, and he says, "Well, that's weird. What do you think, clones?
We recovered this. On the
Takes
site,
it.
looks like where one of his faces got smashed in the curb. You can see it on the video. I hooked up the instant replay if you want to slow-mo. It's really funny.
I do want to slow-mo it. Man, he hits that hard. He looks at it and he says, so, synthetic. They're androids?
I don't know. Did you get any matches on their faces? Do you think they could be like copies of someone?
Goes over and has that run. And he sort of lets that go, and then he moves on to the footage of the blurry van, the invisible van. And he says, "What am I looking at? What's this distortion?"
Don't know. Looks like some kind of camera active cloaking. In person, it didn't have that. It was just a black vehicle.
What?
I don't know, dude. But this secret tech, this is a thing.
So
do I have to refer you to the blogs?
That has some kind of field that is rewriting camera memory just by being able to see it?
Apparently. I don't know. Take it up with Tom Clancy, dude.
Whatever. He says, "Yeah, I don't know what to do about
Nerf
this.
knock.
We could try to build some kind of subroutine that could scrub through other traffic footage and maybe look for this distortion. Otherwise, we'd have to do it ourselves."
Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't even need to search a very big area. If you think you can detect it, then
yeah, just go to timestamp and
just a few blocks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He starts messing with it, and it takes about maybe a couple hours to write this code that he's making up.
Was there no ID on the guys?
As he's doing that, the ID for the guys comes in, and it's an actor, a small-time actor on Absalom Station.
Small-time like toothpaste commercial, or small-time like reruns of Days of Our Lives?
Like he's on like a soap opera or something,
Okay,
and he's done some commercials.
Days of Our Galaxy. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Not Days, Solars of Our Galaxy.
Souls of Our Galaxy.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Souls of Our Souls.
It's been on forever, and he's on it, and like.
Oh, my grandma loves that.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that season. Yeah, with the hurricane, right? It didn't make sense. Space.
It was weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's all you find. He's just like some guy. He's some guy who's face rights are probably pretty cheap.
All right.
Like,
so copies. Cool.
Copies of just some guy, some boring looking dude.
Generic protagonist.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I've got the virus going. It's looking at traffic footage.
Cool.
If it pings anything, it'll send it to you.
Great.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
So what do we do? Do we wait now?
I guess.
Sure. With that, while you're waiting for a ping, while you're waiting for it to find stuff, we'll go back to Mainala.
Cool.
We'll just pick right up where that conversation left off.
Yeah, that great
with Grexeros.
Conversation.
She said.
Are you gonna make this easy for us?
Yeah, we've you and your associates have a meeting back on Triaxis.
She's asking me, or she's
telling
me that I'm having a meeting with her on Triaxis.
She's doing the thing that your diplomat brain would understand, that she is saying, "You've been kidnapped. We're going to kidnap the rest of your buddies and take you back to Triaxis."
Oh, okay, yeah. So I just want to make sure I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will say, I hear it's lovely this time of year.
Oh, it is. It is, isn't it? But sadly, I don't really feel like wasting a lot of time on small talk. Will there be plenty of time for that? Will you tell us where your friends are? Where they might be, where we might start looking?
Would I remember the name of the shop I was in, Silver Needle? I don't think I would.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
You totally would.
Like,
you were
I
there.
don't know if I
You signed up for the rewards card.
Yeah, I'll be like, have you checked the Silver Needle?
You think they would go there looking for you?
That's what I would do.
Excellent. Well, we'll be sure to have someone there waiting for them.
I also, like, Lily doesn't know where they are or why we ended up coming to Triaxis. I know we saved Babika from Verces. Did we drop her off on Triaxis?
No.
We're on
Triaxis is the dragon planet.
No, I know that. I'm saying, how did we end up here?
You're not there.
You're on Verces.
Oh, I'm on Verces.
Yeah, you're pretty sure you're on Verces with that nice perception roll you kind of saw out the window. Okay. Based on the light, you don't think you're on another planet.
Okay. So the shop I was in Verces.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Can I ask her a question? Is she still here? Like,
she's just talking to you right now.
Okay, great. How can we help Blue Ion?
Oh, I'm not sure yet. They didn't include that in the briefing.
Oh, okay.
I assume just taking you off the board is enough of a help. You've been a bit of a nuisance.
I feel like that's strong language. I've had minimal dealings with Blue Ion, and most of them have been pleasant for my part.
She pulls out her little hand terminal and sort of beep, 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 plays with it a little bit, and then puts it away. And then she says, "How did you know we were on Verces?"
Oh, this is hard. Do I pretend like I knew they were there? Because I totally didn't know they were there.
We put together that the people
whatever you want,
mining the shit were probably them.
We guessed, but like we weren't sure. We went there because Babika was there.
They were getting the thing that was in all the weapons that only Blue Ion has had.
True, that's true.
Whatever you want, Manola.
I didn't know. We didn't. I was coming to meet with a friend. Old friend.
So you just happened upon that mining operation?
Well, my friend did, and that's where we happened to meet.
And you just stumbled into knowledge of Harper's plan?
Oh, that's a totally different situation, and I highly recommend reading the Dives report, which I'm sure he's published on the internet somewhere by this point. Space a minute.
You've stumbled onto so many things Blue Ion has been working on. I find that hard to believe. It's a big galaxy.
It is, but you know, longer you've been around, the more people you meet, and the smaller it starts to feel.
She sort of flexes her claw, and sort of sparks come off of the claws.
I'm like visibly like surprised by that.
And she says, Davrin, would you see about encouraging her to be more cooperative while I go talk to the kobolds? And he sort of gets up and like cracks his knuckles.
If she's like leaving or still there, can I ask her, is that natural or an enhancement?
And she says, oh, it's all natural.
Some people have all the luck.
And
maybe she's fine with it.
Maybe it's a dragon. And she heads off. Back to you, friends. The sort of you're
Guys,
sitting
hurry up!
in
I'm getting beat up.
Yellow 47's place when his and he's like offered you these nasty crunchy snacks a few times.
A la snacks at Hagrid's.
Mm-hmm. When the program pings. And you get some hits on it. You see, the program couldn't find like lots of footage of the car, but enough, a sort of trail of breadcrumbs that lead to a warehouse near a ship manufacturer. maybe one city over.
It's always a warehouse.
They're big and empty.
Except for all the hostages.
Except for all the hostages. He sort of leans in and says, maybe they see movies too?
Yeah. Oh, does that mean there's a bomb in there?
That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Only if you defuse it at the last second. That'd be cool.
Yeah. If anybody could, you could, Percy.
Oh, thanks. Wait, how'd you know my name?
Shit!
Alright, cool. Clob, you wanna head to the super suspicious warehouse?
Sounds good to me.
It's probably a total trap.
It's my favorite kind of warehouse. I've had great
The
times in
warehouse.
warehouses. All my best jobs have actually ended up in a warehouse.
How
That's
do
interesting.
you get to where the warehouse is?
First, we find a werewolf.
A werewolf.
Yeah, it tells us. Are there like taxis?
Totally.
Discreet robo taxis?
Yeah, you can totally
Cool.
get. You can like. It's like scooters. It's like bird scooters. You walk up to one that isn't in use, and you just sort of wave your hand terminal over the door.
Segway on over, looking super cool.
So is this planet cool enough that there are like tunnels that go through the planet to get between the parts of the ring, or is it just a?
Oh,
super
absolutely!
train?
Tons
Okay.
of awesome freeways and stuff that are underground.
Nice.
Also, like that one episode of Doctor Who.
I
but
knew you
without
were going to
kit-
say that. Gridlock, I hate
without-
that episode.
without smog or kittens.
Doctor Who.
Well,
The cat people.
Doctor Who a heavy episode this week. You get in and it starts going down.
I was gonna
and-
make an Ood Sigma joke earlier too when you said we were in the Sigma section, but I didn't.
Why? Why would you hold back? As you're heading through this below the surface, when on the screen it sort of shows the route you're going to take in an ETA, and then as you're driving, you see sort of kind of an unusual looking vehicle come up behind you. Most of these cars here are like rentals, and this one behind you looks like a little sportier than all the others.
Let's make like a weird detour. See if they follow.
You go up to take the controls to manual and make 3 lefts, 4 lefts, and see if they're still following you.
Mm-hmm.
When the car's route changes on its own, and the car turns to the right.
That's not normal. Are we no longer heading towards the warehouse?
You're no longer on your route. The car turns to the right, goes up an off-ramp, and just starts heading somewhere else. And that sports car behind you speeds up to chase you.
Uh-oh.
What do you do?
I would like to get manual control back of the car. First, I'll just check and be like, Pip, this isn't you, is it?
No, it's not me! What's wrong? What's happening?
Just, haywire car on the freeway, it's fine.
God, what the fuck? His stuff kind of starts to go out, as if he's being jammed.
Alright, so would that be engineering or computers or what?
Depends what you're doing. Are you trying to hack into it? Are you trying to break the panels open and play with the actual mechanical parts?
Yeah, I'll do that.
You can how about you do the computers and I'll try to mess around with the power on the bottom. Maybe I can reset it right when you're trying to break in.
Oh, I know what you're saying. Yeah, you time the reset, trick it into...
Yeah, you know how computers work. Bypass the thing.
Yeah. Alright, so you're gonna computers and I'm gonna... Computers?
No, I'm gonna engineering. Sorry.
You're gonna engineering, I'm gonna computers,
Yeah.
okay.
I think I pressed the wrong one.
I got
I did
19,
indeed.
you got 25.
No, that's the wrong one.
Intimidate.
Yep.
You got...
Oh, it actually was
A
both.
30?
It didn't matter. Take the 25.
No, it's a 30.
I mean, yeah, it's a 30. You heard her.
I'll take the 25.
So, Percy, you're in there trying to get it to stop, and you see there's this sort of very aggressive computer virus in there that is eluding you.
Ugh.
But Clob, you go in there and you pull out some components, and it sort of goes on to low power mode. It kind of just to make up for the lost voltage, and the sports car behind you starts to rear end you, kind of ram you as you're going off down this sort of side tunnel.
Great. Cheery.
It's sort of hitting you over and over in the back. In the back.
Hey man, it's your fault in California.
The car has slowed and is sort of struggling now. What do you do now?
So it's slowed, but we don't have control over the steering yet?
Not yet. 19 wasn't enough to get control of the steering. You're almost there, but it's sort of like eluding. It's resisting.
Can I try again?
Yes.
24.
24. This time, as it sort of tries to dodge, you're like partitioning off more and more of this, computer's operating system until finally
I'm having too much time.
The Viking Age. You finally get a hold of it. You're able to sort of wrest control of this vehicle back from this virus, and Klob, you pull out another battery, and now the car is slowed to a crawl, and with one last tunk, you feel something in the car kind of break, and now it's like really struggling.
All right, should we just get out of this thing?
Probably.
All right, let's.
Kind of a junker now.
Is anything following us?
The car is still trying to run us over.
It's still. It's. I thought we escaped. No, wait. It's still there.
Yeah, it's still there.
Ooh.
Okay, sorry.
Ooh, are there any vents? Get out of this
thing? My bad.
Wait, are there any like steam vents nearby?
Sure, that sounds cool.
All right, here's what we're gonna do, Klob. We're gonna drive through the steam vents. We're gonna jump out, and they're gonna keep chasing the car.
That would actually make a lot of sense for there to be steam vents, because if it's only temperate in this area, as soon as it goes toward the scorch, any moisture that's there is going to be evaporating.
That's super cool. So it's the way. You kind of turn into a maintenance tunnel where there's all these steam vents. And give me a piloting check. And Klob, I need a acrobatics check, probably.
All right, to try to stay.
29. Should
Percy,
I also acrobatics?
Yes, also acrobatics.
31.
Ooh, you did a lot better.
I cartwheel out.
Woo! Stick it!
I fire, stop, drop, and roll out.
Yeah, Percy it's perfect. It's just like you always imagined it would be.
Kills the...
Nailed the landing.
The kobold.
Nailed the landing.
Rolls over him.
Klob, because you have the kobold, you can't really roll properly, so you roll out and you protecting Sect, and you sort of get up and you press yourself against the wall in the steam, trying to stay hidden. Percy, you can be anywhere you want because you have vanished into the haze.
You are master gymnast.
I would just like to try and break line of sight on where the car is going to be coming up as well as I can, so it doesn't see me.
You totally can.
Cool.
You break line of sight, but you see Klob sort of crawl into the steam.
You're doing great, buddy.
And as the sports car kind of slows to a stop on the other side of the steam, letting your car leave, it appears they may have seen that too. The car stops, and you see in sort of the dim light in here that's just from these maintenance lights, the car is kind of iridescent, like a dark metal that is iridescent in the light. The door sort of sections open, like sort of retracts, telescopes open. And out stands a tall, elvish person of indeterminate gender. And they sort of look around, and they've got like the weird thing where they're in a full suit but also gloves. And sort of starts walking over to where Klob is, sort of casually towards the smoke.
I have a Starfinder question.
Mm-hmm?
Do Starfinder elves have dark vision?
Give me a culture check to see if Percy knows.
Great. Not great.
11? You think some might, but it's you're not sure if like they all do, or like is it like real nighttime dark vision, or is it just
like a genetic thing?
Yeah.
Are they just like a little more sensitive to light? Like you don't remember.
Yeah.
You know they see very well. You know.
So we're in a tunnel right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's presumably just a small light source. That's why it's
There's
dim.
sort of like these work lights, like every like 20 feet on the walls.
Cool.
And they're really just bright enough to allow for light to get to the next one.
Bang! Bang! Dark vision capacitors.
Oh, so cool.
Woo!
You just like,
Yep.
and now you've got predator vision.
Woo!
Uh,
Whoop.
All right,
you
I'm
see the
gonna.
sort of
Oh,
the red plumes of steam coming up out of the vents. You see the car still cooling down, uh, and you see the elf kind of stop and like their ears kind of perk up and they stop moving, and then they sort of reach into their jacket and they pull out what looks like kind of a little square, like piece of paper,
mm-hmm.
like maybe it's like this thick. Looks like a tablet, like a computer tablet.
No, they have a
But then
backscatter panel. Oh shit!
but then takes it and goes like whoosh, and it stretches out into what looks like a weapon, like a gun, like a paper thin submachine gun.
That is
Whoa.
way too cool, and we need it.
This is just way too cool for school.
What did you say it was, Alex?
The backscatter panel from Agents of Shield.
Oh
They
yeah,
put on
no,
the wall and they can see through walls and shit.
that's super cool. You guys should get one. And then it's sort of like looking, like listening.
Cool. I'm going to play The Last of Us, pick up a brick, and throw it. Over there,
give
quicker.
me a bluff check.
I'm throwing it away, like the way that the car went.
They sort of ear perks up, and then they head that direction.
Woo! Alright, sneak over to Clob.
Are you invisible?
I feel like I need to be invisible. I guess I can be invisible. Yeah, sure, I'll be invisible.
Is all the mist still shielding me?
Well, I shot out the lights, so like I don't think you can see right now. Do you have like a dark vision thing?
No, I don't have dark vision.
Cool.
I think kobolds can see in the dark, can't they?
And I don't have any lights on or anything like that.
Sect sort of leans over and says, "Who was that guy? Who was that person?"
I'm not sure. Is he asking me?
Yeah, he's asking you.
You're the one that's like smothering him to death. It's probably you.
Shut up. Shut up.
Nick.
Wait, can you see?
Percy, what's your armor class?
My KAC or EAC? They're both 18.
KAC. 18?
Can insect see?
So you're sort of... Sect can see. Sect can totally see.
Oh, hey, wait, lead me to Percy. Forget that guy.
Okay. Sect starts to sort of lead you through the mist, the dark mist, and Percy, as you're getting closer and you sort of see the smoke revealing sort of these humanoid heat shapes, you someone from right behind you puts you in a chokehold.
Wow.
Rude.
This is not great. Even though I'm invisible?
Yes, even though you're invisible.
Cool.
And then sort of like drags you away into the smoke.
Can I like make any noise?
You try, but it's like so fast and immediate. It's just like, and then a hand like to brace your gun hand.
I can drop my gun though.
You could drop your gun, like it's in your hand. It's just your wrist is being held, so you can't like.
I won't drop my gun.
Mhm.
I want my gun.
And you're sort of silently dragged into the smoke.
I got smokered. Someone help me.
Club, you and Sect leads you out of the darkness, and Sect can see just fine, but not through the smoke, and you're blind.
And so he doesn't see this?
No, he says, "I don't see Percy.
Where was he?
Percy, where are you, Percy?" And Percy, you hear that clearly as you're being choked.
There's no noise?
No.
Can I kick my feet on the ground a little bit?
Sure. Give me something like an athletics to try to
Not great at those.
It's not going to be very hard.
18.
18. Percy, you're able to like stomp on the ground a couple times before this person kind of this person's very tall and they lift you off the ground so you can't kick anymore. But
I can't
Club,
do the shins.
you hear a little like some stomping. Insect says, "What was that?"
I don't know Morse code, Percy.
Oh my gosh. You have dumb crewmates, man.
I can't see.
Percy, you're being choked off the ground. It's getting a little tunnel visiony.
I can struggle, but I don't feel great considering my strength is 0.
Can you make
Hey,
a check to get out of grapple?
Yeah, how does that work?
That would I don't remember, but let's say it's an athletics check.
I know how it works in 5th edition. It's like, opposed rolls, basically. But
Oh no, let's say it's athletics or acrobatics.
Oh, well, I got a 23 with athletics. Can I roll in acrobatics to see if I do better? Because I'm sure I will.
Sure.
24!
24, excellent. So
My acrobatics is a 17, my athletics is a 6.
you are sort of being held off the ground, and then you sort of are able to kick your feet away and then bring them back and kick this person in like the hips.
Nice.
And this sort of like tumbles them forward, and you tumble out of the smoke.
Does Sex see him now?
Yeah, Sex like, oh, there's Percy.
Percy,
what are you doing in the smoke?
Cool, I don't really want to make any more noise. I'm just gonna, like, run up and, like, get to Claude and Sec and start running back down the tunnel the way we came from.
are you running?
And then I'm gonna keep looking back to see if I can see this guy sneaking up on me.
The guy is totally walking towards you and then starts to run.
Oh god, Terminator style?
Total Terminator style.
Alright,
Okay.
I'm gonna shoot him then.
Cool, shoot him.
And I was gonna say, like, if Percy's running with me and shooting, then I'm going to like cast an area of effect spell behind me too.
Right. Shooting. My silenced auto pistol.
Awesome.
19.
19? Against KAC?
Yes.
Not like so close to enough, but not quite. You shoot and hit him right in the chest, and he sort of
so much
buckles
damage.
and goes down to his knee, and then gets up and keeps running, and you see the little squashed bullet has been stopped by his suit, and it falls down. And as you're running, he sort of pauses and then ducks and turns around a corner. Out of sight.
Alright. Let's keep going, I guess. Try to not get snuck up on him, like, be actively scanning all around.
Cool, then give me a perception check.
Beep, beep, beep. It's a good night for checks. 21.
21. As you're running, you come through a smoke cloud, and then you see this form again, maybe 50 feet away. They're just standing there in the middle of the hallway, middle of this corridor.
This guy didn't look like the model, did he?
Totally different. Tall,
Okay.
thin, very elvish.
Good question, though. Yeah. The guy.
And they take that sort of weird paper-thin submachine gun they have, and they sort of slowly collapse it and put it back in their coat, and then put their hands up.
I'm gonna keep my gun trained on him. Can Klob see this now? Are we good? We're out of the dark.
Yeah, you're in a lit place now, Claude.
I saw all this. Okay, cool. Then I don't cast my spell on him.
And they start to step forward slowly. And they say, and as you see in the light, they look almost uncanny valley elvish. Like too elvish. And they say, I apologize. I got overzealous. I thought you were trying to kill Klob.
What?
What?
I suppose I should explain. I'm here on behalf of a group called the Coalition. I was instructed to protect you from Blue Iron assassins.
The Coalition?
Guys against Blue Ion?
Just
that
him? What
car
about me?
you were in. That car you were in was programmed to take you somewhere. Not sure where. I was trying to disable your vehicle, and afterwards, all I saw was Klob exit it, and then another form stalking in the dark. I do apologize, but you shot me, so I feel like we're even.
You put me in a chokehold.
I did put you in a chokehold.
Wait, so who sent you to help me?
I told you, the coalition.
Who the coalition of what?
Maybe we should talk somewhere else. You never know who's listening.
Who would this? And why he show up? Random. But he has a cool gun and we should totally use it to save me.
How about wait? Can you help us find our friend Minella first?
We know exactly where Manala is.
Oh, really? Well, okay, awesome. Good thing we found you then.
And I think you have a pretty good idea as well. Don't you?
Sorta.
I mean, probably Blue Ion. It's always Blue Ion. The warehouse?
Yes. Yes, a warehouse near a shipyard. Recently, decommissioned and emptied. Due for demolition, but not for another week.
Well, that's good. So if it was due for demolition, like right now, that would go in line with my bomb theory.
May I put my hands down?
Sure.
They put their hands down and say, but really, we should talk somewhere where there'll be fewer people to listen.
All right, cool. Let's get somewhere safe. You know, like some underground sewer or whatever. It's usually where we do business on the old station.
They sort of look back where their car was, and their eyes sort of like shimmer with some kind of display, some kind of implanted display on their irises, and then you hear the car pull up, and it comes through the smoke, and then it turns, and the door sort of this sort of like sectioned carapace door, like telescopes open for you.
Is it like Kit from Knight Rider? It's like, hello.
It doesn't say anything. If it is sentient, it doesn't say anything.
Mm.
After you.
Weird. It was really suspicious.
Techno elf.
They sort of sigh and reach in their jacket and pull out that little weapon, and they hand it to you.
Ooh.
And they say, "Do you feel better now?"
I do, thank you.
I feel much better now. I want that.
Oh. Yeah, you can have it.
Nice.
All
this
right.
is to keep, right?
No. That one's mine.
Yeah.
I was letting you hold it so you wouldn't think I'm going to shoot you.
No,
so
yeah.
which one's mine?
Besides, I don't even think it would work for you. Yep, sorry. You can't even get it to open.
This thing looks way cooler when you guys use it. Well, whatever, fine. I guess he can have it. He seems all right. He only tried to shoot you a little bit.
They get in the car with you, the door closes, and it starts going somewhere. And we're going to go back to Mainala.
Okay.
Mainala, you're not doing so hot.
Yeah, I figured. When she left and it was just him and I was going to try to communicate with him telepathically and say, I don't want you to get in trouble. I don't want me to get in trouble. I don't know what they want.
He says back telepathically, neither do I. I don't like to ask those questions. You're not feeling great. But you've actually give me a fortitude save.
Can do. And then why is it so low? Why is that one so high? Okay. It's just 2, I think, plus that, so 9, which is crappy.
Just a 9.
Yeah.
You are.
My con is low because I wanted to keep my strength and chaw high. That's why.
You're real loopy.
Yeah.
After you're sort of you taste blood. You're very loopy. You're not like horribly injured. You're really tough. But you know you're not super there.
Oh yeah, totally.
And Grexeros comes back in, and she sort of kneels down and gets close to you, and sort of like her breath smells like ozone.
It's not pleasant.
Dragons.
And she says, "How are we feeling?"
Do I have to answer?
You don't have to do anything.
Oh,
It's D&D.
I don't answer. I just look at her.
Just look at her and she says, "You look better than I thought. Davrin, did you go easy on her?" And he sort of like is rubbing his knuckles. And he says, "Nah, she's just used to getting hit." She says, "Well, oh well. Are you in more of a mood to talk?"
Can I try to talk to her telepathically and just say yes?
You can totally do that, and it happens.
Okay.
She says, responds telepathically, "Wonderful. Shall I start again at the beginning?
What do you want to know?
How did you know about the dig site?"
We didn't know it was a dig site. I heard from a friend that they were in trouble, so I came to help them. They didn't say what kind of trouble.
How did you know about Blue Ion's involvement in the Harper plot? And she sort of is looking sort of upset at you.
How do we know about their involvement in the Harper plot?
Harper told us.
Harper, yeah, involved us.
Did she tell us?
It's Harper's fault.
We didn't know about their involvement until the very end. When we confronted Harper, she gave up Regirex right away. She wasn't trying to hide anything.
Now she's really scowling. How did you know about the dragon totem and the jungle jungle box station?
This is me checking. Didn't we get that job list from Dives?
We got. I think
you got that job list from like the dude who coordinates, contractor jobs on Absalom Station, just like some guy.
Yeah, some guy.
Was it one of my
stewards.
contacts or was it somebody else?
No,
that was back when we were like fake stewards, though.
Mm-hmm.
My God, it was the master.
Okay, I'll say.
She was playing us the whole time.
I'll say. Wait, so can you repeat what she said? She asked me about the totem in the jungle box, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, jungle box was a steward's, contract job. They just were farming out work, and they didn't want to risk any good people on it, so they sent, fodder.
The best people.
They sent us.
The best people. She's now visibly upset with you, and she says, "Fine. Still don't want to tell the truth. Well, I guess we'll just have to take you somewhere where they can make you tell the truth."
It's my least favorite.
I didn't lie. Like, I didn't even have to roll bluff, bitch. Like,
No, because you're not lying.
That's the thing. I'm not lying.
Torture doesn't work.
Torture does not work.
I haven't put you in pain. I don't think you're telling the truth. I'll try more pain.
I will say whatever you want me to say to get the pain to stop.
I did it. I killed Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, I'm just careful not to respond to her comment about the totem.
She says, "Davrin, get the lizards. We're leaving." Minella, is there anything else you wanted to say?
Is she still standing there?
Yeah, she's still standing here for the moment.
I don't know if she can detect my telepathic communications with Davrin. So I don't know if I want to try it. But I was going to ask him if he beat up the kobolds too.
He sort of thinks back to you. "I didn't, but he said, "I didn't, but they're stolen property."
I saw a hologram recording of him torturing younglings.
I'm confused by this comment. I don't know who they're stolen from. Aren't they? Okay, wait. technically they were like hatched by. Was it Blue Ion also?
It was
Yeah.
another one of the dragon
Those.
mercs. The
Yeah,
green one.
Yeah. Okay.
Ozyrandian.
Right. Okay. Weird.
They're technically his.
I
He
mean, I
says-
feel like they're free now. We've given them each
He says-
stocks.
Ozyrandian will want them back. And then he goes off.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much I can do. Is anybody in the room with me now?
It's just her
Oh, she's
for
still
the
there?
moment, if you
Why is
want.
she still
She's
there?
just still there, kind of like scowling at you. You've upset her. You've
I
complicated
just
things.
try to look really crappy. It's probably not hard. That's what I do.
You get sort of a pitiful, disdaining glare.
Yeah, spoilers. She doesn't like
Um,
me. What's new?
Cool.
Okay, so the thing she asked about was how we knew about Blue Ion's involvement in the Harper plot, how we found out about the dragon totem and the jungle box, and there was another thing.
How you knew about the dig site?
Oh yeah, dig site on Verses.
She seems to think you must have some kind of inside knowledge.
So she seems like she is looking for a rat. We don't have a rat. She just thinks
I mean, we
that there's
do.
one.
He's
on
not
the
here
ship.
this week. She
No,
sort of
I
gets
mean-
down on her knee, and like looks you in the eye, and she just says, "There's nothing you coalition bastards can do to stop us now." And she leaves you. Unless you try to talk to her some more.
Can I telepathically be like, wait? Who do you think I am?
She says, "Just another little tiny mortal that needs to be stepped on before we can put the galaxy back the way it should be." And she says that out loud, and as she says the last word, her like fangs crackle with lightning.
I'll respond out loud and just say, of course the place is messed up. Of course the world's messed up. But I'm not part of any group to fix it. I don't know what the coalition is. Never heard of it. I'll take any truth serum or torture test you have, but I've never heard of them.
Stop playing dumb. It doesn't suit you. If you have nothing else to say, we will cut back to our new friend.
Alright, yeah.
You're sort of driving along, and you are heading towards, on the little map screen that is inside this self-driving car. You're heading this sort of bug-like self-driving car. You're headed to a sort of like small, out-of-the-way, like bar-like place.
You guys get to have drinks while I get beat?
Yep.
Dicks.
To be fair, we just jumped out of a car.
You know, next time you all need me to save your ass, I'm gonna take my
Club?
time. I'm gonna get a massage
Club?
first.
Again!
We need a recoup juice.
Don't get
Club
upset.
has-
It always ends with Dendar.
Klob has hardcore road rash, so he's made sacrifices for you.
Just one little sip of alcohol, pour some on the wounds.
Your host just sits there silently if you don't talk to him. It's a short drive. It's only maybe 5 minutes to this place, and this car's very fast. And you get out, you go in, and it's super divey, and there's like a holographic stage where one of the emitters is out of alignment. So like if the performer moves to the front left part of the stage, they disappear.
Yeah.
And it's playing an old band that you only kind of remember because like it's a cheap program. He sits you down and takes out what looks like a cred stick and puts it in the middle of the table, and then he pushes a button on it, and your ears kind of pop in a way that feels very similar to, you remember that silence grenade? It feels like that, but you can still talk now.
I request the cone of silence.
And they say, "All right, now we can talk."
Does this
Cool.
Alright.
So who are you?
Yeah, can you get a name for this elf bitch, please?
Um, we don't really use names. People like me.
What's your handle?
He sort of like thinks on it and he says, "I suppose you could just call me a specialist."
A specialist?
Mhm.
Okay.
What do you specialize in?
Making things happen for the coalition. Are you not familiar with them?
Nope.
He says, "Well, the coalition is a group of corporations and other organizations who, at the moment at least,
Hey, Blue Ion?
hate Blue Ion."
Can we join?
Uh,
We like founded
Maybe.
the Hey Blue Ion Club.
I don't. That's not really my area of expertise. Mostly it's like assassinations or reconnaissance, or like right now, protecting high value targets like
Cool.
you and Club.
I'm glad we weren't in an assassination.
It says, "I'm technically at the moment under contract with Hardlight Initiatives, which you would both recognize, Klob probably more, as a big, like, Huawei-like chip manufacturer.
Nice.
They make, like, the little bits that go in, like, most devices.
Yeah, they're in everything.
It's come in handy. It's what let me find Klob, anyway. Percy, your devices seem pretty well scrubbed, and right now, Pip, I believe his name is doing everything in his power to make the ship's footprint as small as possible. We're still looking for him, but having difficulty finding it.
Well, he's got small feet.
Fair. Maynala, on the other hand, we know exactly where she is.
The warehouse.
The warehouse. We
Why
have
are
a
we
tracker
not
on her.
there rescuing her right now?
Because she's fine. We know exactly.
Fine.
She is. Oh, I'm sorry, you don't know. We have a man on the inside with Grexeros, a dragon mercenary. She's currently holding Maynala and planning to transport her to Triaxis.
See, that's bad.
Well, she's still with a dragon, though. I mean, I appreciate it, but how do we
Yes, but
make
she
sure
won't
that
harm
happens?
her. She won't harm her.
Sure.
But if she gets sent to Triaxis, that's
Uh,
pretty far removed from our protection.
It is a long way, and we can intercept her. In fact, that's what we were hoping to do. The warehouse is well guarded. But, with your ship and mine, we should be able to easily intercept her as soon as they leave orbit. Unless you'd like to attack the warehouse now. She's your friend. I suppose it's up to you.
How well guarded are we talking?
He sort of, like, just motions his hand over the table, and it's like he has a hollow emitter in his hand. But you don't see it. Like, it just looks like a hand.
This guy must know the augmented.
And he says, and you see a little hologram of the place, and you see a lot of these little red dots. And he says, "We have a surveillance drone there now. Looks like maybe a dozen hired guards, 4 combat androids, the ones who did the kidnapping, and some number of mechanical sort of drones, other drones."
And you don't think all of these forces will still be surrounding her on the ship?
He says, "Unlikely, actually. The ship is its own defense. She won't bring all of these forces with her on her personal craft. They'll follow in the attack craft." She
So-
likes to travel in style. She fancies herself Regirax's protege.
So you're saying we intercept them in space, take out the attack ship, and then board her ship?
Or at least keep the attack ship distracted in time to get Maynala and get away.
That
Well,
seems doable.
if we do that, at least we'll have Pip and our crew to help us, rather than just the three of us, plucky as we are. Four, sorry, Kobold.
Unless you wanted to try to take her, you have impressed the Coalition with your skills already.
Well, we fought dragons. I mean, we could go for it, but it's hard. Maybe a little bit of help should be welcome.
Yeah, those fights with the dragons didn't go swimmingly.
I will say, the Coalition intends to be very, very helpful. In fact, if you have a moment to hear about it, we have a proposition. And he starts to reach in.
Get in on the ground floor.
He seems
Plastics.
oddly unconcerned with Maynala being kidnapped, and he keeps forgetting that the Coalition is this super secret organization, and that you guys don't know everything about it.
I'm sorry, I thought you knew.
That's super random, but relatable.
He seems very casual, and he says, "Do you have time for me to explain it right now?"
Well, if we're just waiting for Minella to be put on the ship, then I guess.
Yeah.
He takes out this hard drive and puts it on the table and slides it towards you. And says, "That is a military-grade destructive virus." You pick up the hard drive, and it's like a big one. I'm not going to pretend to make up numbers for how big hard drives are in this world.
Yeah, but it's big.
But it's big. It's like terabytes big for us.
Right.
And says, "That is the latest from Hardlight Initiatives. It uses a complex neural AI that, once attached to a network, grows in it like a cancer. It integrates itself with every subroutine so completely that it is indistinguishable from the victim system. And then, once triggered, it collapses in on itself, taking the whole system with it."
Got it.
Wow.
It's perfect, right? We call it pitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
And in
what are
our
you trying to destroy?
in our simulations, we could find no countermeasure, and it could take down any size system we gave it. It just needed more time.
And you're planning
We
on
want-
using this on Blue Ion?
Yes, we want your help to do it.
They need someone.
It needs to be
plant
plugged in
it.
directly
It does have to be plugged in directly to a
to
Blue
the servers
Ion
on
system.
Triaxis, I assume?
That would work. It just needs to be attached directly to a part of their network, and then given time to spread. Then they sort of pull out like 4 cred sticks that look like they are platinum plated and slide them across the table. If you're willing to do that, we're willing to give you these.
Huh. So we just gotta get them into any part of the system, like an outer layer of the system, not even deep?
That would work, yes. It would just take time to worm its way into the core. Be careful, though. If you attach it to something that is attached to other parts, other computer systems, when you go to collapse it, it'll take that with it, too. And if you look at these cred sticks, normally there's a little screen that shows you how much is on it. There's no number there.
It's like a really fancy restaurant.
Exactly.
You get the impression that if you went to anywhere and got anything and swiped this cred stick, it would work.
Wow.
It's a lot of money, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like I'm getting beaten up and the life kicked out of me right now, but that's a lot of money.
Is Pip screaming into our ears right now?
You haven't heard from Pip in a little bit. He seems to have kind of gone radio silent.
He's probably trying to keep the ship dark right now. Because he can probably tell that someone's trying to hack it. Or track it. Hack it or track it.
Well, I mean, I don't see a downside. We get to take down Blue Ion. We get to make a lot of money.
We thought you'd see it that way.
Cloud, do you see how this could potentially at all blow up in our faces?
No, this makes perfect sense to me.
Cool.
Ally with enemies are your enemies, right?
Wonderful. I'm glad we're in agreement. And he seems kind of like genuinely happy about it. Uh, and then this little display on his forearm, again, there's no technology there. It's just him. Um, and like this little screen on his wrist sort of shows up. And he sort of goes, "Oh, and look at that. Her ship has just left the refueling dock, which means they'll likely be leaving soon."
Alright. Well, we should probably get back to our ship then.
"Yes. Good luck. Would you like me to meet you there?"
Sure, if you'd like to lend a hand.
"Oh, I intend to. It's why I'm here."
Great.
So you're doing the intercept and space plan?
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. And you go your separate ways. And you guys all head back to your ship. We're going to wrap up a little early this week because we're down a player. And this seems like a good spot to stop. And we're all tired.
When we get back in radio range, I'll tell Pip about the money.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Pip will be happy next session to be helping with rescue
Yeah.
capture.
Maynala, for our final scene, you're sort of been slipping in and out of consciousness. Does Maynala dream about anything in this time? Because you had been, with the stun drugs and then getting beat up.
Probably, yeah.
What do you dream? What is your interrogation dream?
It probably vacillates between questions that I was asked, but then like different formats. Like when like you had like a test, and then when, like the night after the test, you like dream about the test, and like some of the key words are the same, but the questions don't make sense.
You're dreaming about like
It's like for how much
Brett
did the U.S.
like
purchase
leaning
the
down
territory
and
of
like
Zebra?
asking you the question, and then suddenly she's on the other side of you asking you the question in different words, and then it's Babika asking you the
I was
question.
gonna say it was my mom, who I have a really bad relationship with.
It's your mother asking you a question. Is there any sort of a backstory dream that you have?
Probably just like when it becomes my mom, like it goes back to like some like version of like she's really good at what she does, and I'm like I was always like okay what I did, and so it's probably like some version of her where she's like
We flash back to your home, and she is interrogating you to help you practice to know how to like answer these questions and deal with that sort of thing.
Some Black Widow Red Room shit.
She's not like actually interrogating you. She's just asking you a lot of hard questions really fast, and being frustrated with your lack of performance.
Yeah, something probably like that. Yeah, just
digging it deep.
Missing my crew. So, yeah. And I'm really worried about the kobolds. Because, like, I will be fine, but they might not be.
And as they come back, Davrin is sort of wiping this sort of bluish blood from his knuckles, which is what color kobold blood is. And he says, "They're all packed up. Only one of them got uppity." And you sort of are barely able to look up.
Dude, I'd probably fucking cry if that's what this guy did. I'm so sad for them.
And as he's sort of cleaning off his hands, she sort of looks down at you, and you look up, and you can't, like, her image flickers between her and your mother and Regirax as she says, "All right, then let's get this one on board, and let's go home." And that's when the credits would roll. Dun dun dun.
Dang.
Leaving you on a cliffhanger for next week. Thank you so much, players, for this sort of quick lore-y session. I'm excited for next week when we have maybe a space battle, maybe a shootout. Who knows? Feel free to send me a laser, taser, or phaser. That's something you liked, something you didn't like, something you didn't like, something you liked, and something that you're excited for the future. And I'll see you all next week. Goodbye.
Bye. Pew, pew, pew.